I think I'll know the attitude of Russia and, frankly, of Ukraine. It takes two.
What are the 2 ways you can go at the end of 2 weeks then?
Well, then I'm going to make a decision as to what we do. And it's going to be a very important decision. And that's whether or not it's massive sanctions or massive tariffs or both. Or do we do nothing and say it's your fight? Look, I would have never been in this war if I were president. You wouldn't have had this war. It was never going to happen. This was caused by stupid people that fought. And people say, well, how do we know? Because for 4 years, it was never even a subject. And Vladimir knew, and you see his picture right here. It was nice that he sent, but Vladimir knew very strongly we wouldn't have stood for it. It wouldn't have happened. 100% wouldn't have happened, but it did happen. And now they're losing from 5 to 7 young kids. Think of it, you're a parent and your son is leaving. He's Russian or he's Ukrainian. And he's leaving and they're waving goodbye. Nice, beautiful kid. Nice crew cut, all set. He wants to be a soldier. And he goes there the first week, he has his head blown off. And he's no different than you people, me. And it doesn't matter where. I mean, I solved a problem in the Congo that was vicious. Rwanda and the Congo, the Republic of the Congo. And they were fighting for 31 years, and it was machetes. People were getting their heads chopped off. That was going on for 31 years. I got it solved. You saw it. They came to the White House. We signed an agreement. It was amazing. People can't believe we got it done. I love to stop killing. I really do. People thought it would be just the opposite. Hillary Clinton said, oh, he'll get us into a war. No, I'm getting everybody else out of wars.
Are you saying there's a real possibility then that you do nothing if Putin doesn't come to the table for a ceasefire?
I'll see whose fault it is. If there are reasons why, I'll understand that. I know exactly what I'm doing. We're going to see whether or not they have a meeting. That'll be interesting to see. And if they don't, why didn't they have a meeting? Because I told them to have a meeting. But I'll know in 2 weeks what I'm going to do. I have pretty good ideas.
As for our relations with the United States, they are at an extremely low level since World War II, as I have mentioned many times. Since President Donald Trump came into office, I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We recently had a very good, substantive, and frank meeting in Alaska. Contacts continue at the level of our ministries, agencies, and companies. I very much count on that the first steps taken are only the beginning towards the full-scale restoration of our relations. This does not depend on us. It primarily depends on our Western partners in the broad sense of the word, because the United States is also bound by certain obligations through various associations, including the North Atlantic Bloc. Therefore, the next steps depend on the leadership of the United States. However, I am confident that the leadership qualities of the current President Trump are a good guarantee that relations will recover. I hope the pace of our joint work at this platform will be maintained. At that time, it was already mentioned how and what means of transport could be used to travel from Arkhangelsk, from Murmansk to our eastern borders. Last year, we transported
38 million tons.
Almost 39 million, if I'm not mistaken.
No, 37.8 million.
Fine, almost 38 million tons. This is a multiple increase. Due to climate change, as is well known and everyone is already talking about it, there is reason to believe that the volume of transport could sharply increase with increased navigation. But even if this doesn't happen, we will have such an icebreaker fleet as we plan. We have 8 nuclear icebreakers. A fleet like this does not exist anywhere else in the world. We plan to introduce 4 more soon.
One is already in the water preparing. One is on the slipway. Decisions on 2 are practically made. And the 5th, Leader, is being built.
I think there are now 4 with a leader. He is already casting a line for building another one. Well, fine. In any case, they are needed, that is certainly clear. If we maintain such a fleet, and we definitely will. We also have about 35 diesel icebreakers. No one else has such a powerful fleet. The most acceptable route lies in our territorial waters or our special economic zone. This is our competitive advantage. It would be simply foolish not to develop this route, as many countries around the world are interested in using it. Clearly, the time for transporting goods from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean is reduced multiple times, and throughout the Asia-Pacific region, which is developing, everyone knows this well, at an unprecedented pace until now for the Western community. In addition to everything, it must be understood, there is no secret here, that Russia's defense capability issues are also significantly linked with research and use of these northern latitudes. There are no secrets here. Our strategic nuclear submarines go under the ice of the Arctic Ocean and disappear from radars. This is our military advantage. Research in this area is extremely important to us. Finally, besides transportation logistics and defense capability, there is a third aspect. The Arctic zone contains vast global reserves of mineral resources. We've already started working there. We have several companies, including Novatek, one of our major companies working in liquefied natural gas, operating there. Moreover, this work is carried out in cooperation with many partners, both European and Asian. We are discussing, by the way, with American partners the possibility of working together in this area, not only in our Arctic zone but also in Alaska. The technologies we own today are not possessed by anyone else. This is of interest to our partners, including those from the United States.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.